crazy about it. Oh goodness. Did y'all see that? Be careful with this open knife. Holy cow. So, what's going on, everybody? Product Probes back at you with another knife review, and today we are looking at a pretty cool looking knife. This is the MTech USA. It's the MT-A997 gold knife. This thing's actually a pretty cool looking knife. Got the yellow gold on it. But let's dive into it. Let's see what this thing's got. Okay, so right off the bat, let me give you all a close up on this cool looking handle right here. So, as you can see, it's got a open handle right here. Now, it still does have the guts in it, but as you can see most of the blade as it's closed, which is pretty cool. But it gives it a nice little look to it. Got you a thumb stud right here, which is a pyramid style, which I'm not crazy about because it's so sharp on those edges. But you do have a quick release right there for your blade. Now, let's see here. I feel like this thing's not getting focused right, but right here you got a glass breaker on the end with your seatbelt cutter. Maybe we can look at it like this a little better. Got a few jimpings right here on the back of the knife, or the handle rather. There's your trigger right there. Trigger seems to be fairly large right there to get your finger on it, so let's check it out. Legs are pretty fast. It's faster than what I thought. Now, the blade is what I like. Now it doesn't match the yellow gold that's on the handle, but you do have a gold bevel right here, which is a darker yellow gold. And that gives it a cool look. I wouldn't mind if the whole knife was that color, but I guess that does make it pop. But you got your Tanto style blade right here. Nice, size belly on it. And then you have your open liner lock, of course, which is easy to get to. Simple close right there. Let's try the little quick release right here. Oh, third try. Let's try it again. So if I'm pulling it out, let's say, you need to use it. Boom. Yeah, I might have to give it a little bit more of a flick. Now, two-handed. Of course, my thumb is still screwed up from that Jabe's cutlery knife. When I tried to flip that thing open, it stabbed underneath me. And I'm either putting that review out before or after this one. So if that didn't make sense, it will. But that trigger, y'all, is pretty dadgum fast. So, again, open liner lock. Really not bad at all. Single hand deployment. Single hand close. Still is fine. So, I kind of like that. Right here, seems like you got a beefy pocket clip on it. You got your MTech logo right there on it, but they kind of wide it off right here, which I would have taken just a single screw, put it right up here, made this thing a little bit, well, because that's going to be sticking in with it being yellow. I like them to sit super high for a more concealed type look on a lot of these knives, but that's still, a beefy pocket clip on it. So I tell you what, let's go see what this thing looks like in the pocket.
Alright, let's go ahead and slide this on in. I can already tell that there's going to be a little bit of the knife sticking out. Really big arch right there on the bottom. See, it's almost like you have to, I don't even know if it goes all the way up to the top right there. Yeah, it's actually stopping. The belt clip goes up to right here, but it's actually stopping right here. So I'm not sure if I just have to push really hard. I'm pushing really hard. So this is definitely a downfall for the knife. There's a good, half an inch right there sticking out. The printing, I guess, it's so-so right there. You can kind of see it. It's pretty bad. And the pull-out, easy pull-out. That's really strange. It's almost as if it's not bolted down on the bottom right here. It's like bolted down on the top right here, but it's not bolted down here. So it's actually catching on that plate right there. Let's see if I can try that one more time. Yeah, it's not going to go all the way down. I'm sure it's made to. So that is definitely a defect for the knife. Let's see. The trigger is right there, however. So that is one little plus there for the pocket. But I'm really not going to be able to reprove this belt clip just because it doesn't slide all the way in where it's made to be.
Not terrible in the pocket. Pocket clip is pretty dadgum beefy. Be worried about it maybe fraying your pocket out. However, still not bad at all. this is more of a, I won't say a show knife because you can definitely everyday carry this thing, but the way that it looks, I mean, it's just a cool looking knife. The thumb stud on it, I can't push that sucker up. The way that they have it rounded out right here is super sharp. Again, it could just be this one, but I mean, even when I touch it, the thing is sharp on the sides. So when I dig my thumb into it right here to try to open it, it just cuts into my thumb. So use that little assisted opening right here on the side, or this right next to it rather. But the control of the knife is not bad. I wish that it had a little bit better choil up here so I could choke up a little better, because the grip for me, I'm not crazy about it. Oh goodness. Did y'all see that? Be careful with this open knife. Holy cow. So, right here, with it being open in the way that I was just holding it, my finger hit that liner, and look at that. It closed. So if you're using it for utility work, you know, with Tanto blades, you know, probably not doing much utility work with it, but if you are, be careful, because the way that they have these jimpings right up here incorporated into this blade makes me think, I don't know. I mean, you'd really have to push it, but I was just talking about it, and I'm not crazy about that. I don't like it. Safety hazard right there on the knife with that open thing. Should have made it a frame lock. Have that thing come back, and then you could have it open with just this backside hitting the blade. The fact that they made it a liner lock, super smooth liner lock, but just be careful if you're using it for utility work or anything than just your simple cuts. Even then. Now I'm tripping out because I'm like, well, because it's not going to happen every time I can sit here, cut something up, nothing would happen. But, and if you're putting pressure on something, and it does have that trigger that acts as a finger guard in case it does, you know, it's not going to spring down and shut on your hand. But I don't like that part of it. Now, let's at least go see. No way. This knife seems to be pretty sharp. Let's go see how sharp this blade really is.
Alright, let's go ahead and get the sharpness on this bad boy, starting with the cut down. So, wow. No ripping right there whatsoever. Super, super sharp. Let's try that one more time. Wow, that thing's actually really sharp. Probably one of the sharper MTechs we've done here at Product Probes. Yeah, definitely hot knife going through butter. No problem whatsoever. Let's go ahead and check this point out. Being that it is a Tanto, it's probably going to have a pretty good blade. Let's see how bad the push is. So, yeah, not bad at all. So, cut down. Even the tip of the blade, really, really sharp. This is going to be one of your higher quality MTechs, guys. Really good looking. Super, super sharp. Really liking this thing so far.
You know, fairly sharp. Pretty impressed with it. And I would have said, you know, for the money, only because it's a cheaper knife, I would say this is a pretty cool knife. But there's a flaw with that open liner right there. It's really not bad, though. You know, let's just say you choked up, you know, a little bit right here, but you had your finger flat. Yeah, you're not going to have a problem. It's just how you grab it. If you grab it in a weird way, it's going to close on you. But, you know, it's really not a deal breaker. Actually, it is a deal breaker. That's the biggest deal breaker if it does it. Now, I can make it do it. I don't know. Freaking out. Weigh it, you know, if y'all care that much about it, you know, with it being so cheap. But just be careful if you decide to get it. Now, let's go check out the weight, and let's get some measurements of this knife.
Alright, this is going to be a rather lightweight knife, I'm guessing, just because they carved out all that extra weight in the handle. So 4.55, not bad being that's an all aluminum. So let's go ahead and grab the weight or the measurements on this thing. It's on average size. Let's see what we're dealing with. Fully opened with the glass breaker right there. You're going to be dealing with 8 inches on the dot. Okay, the length of the blade is going to be about 3.5 inches total, but you've only got 2 inches of that blade right there because you got the Tanto that's going to take up about 1.5 inches right there. So really about 2 inches of cutting room right there, and then fully closed, you're going to be dealing with with that glass breaker, just shy of 5 inches, so 4 3/4. You know, they tried to take a bunch of that weight out, and you know, it was a nice thing, but it is still about average for this size knife.
Overall, guys, I like the knife. I do. I like the look of it. I don't, you know, I guess 2 cons that I have, well, I don't know. I got 3 cons on this knife. So, let's go with the first one. First one is definitely going to be, well, the first one's definitely going to be that open liner lock right there. Just be careful with that grip. In a defensive stance, you're not going to have a problem with it because your whole palm is going to be over it. But, yeah, the glass breaker's not bad in a defensive stance. But if you are doing it for more utility work and you really are scraping something, just be careful with that. The second con, which isn't really a big one, is going to be how this pocket clip doesn't sit all the way up. But that's really just a personal preference, you know, so I won't say it's a con on the knife. Now, one that is a con is this thumb stud right here. So, it is pyramided out, and it's super sharp, where I can't get it, like, I wish I had something to wrap my finger around. I mean, look at that. That's how hard it was to get it open with that thumb stud. And it cut into that. Yeah, that sucker's sharper than the knife. But that's the other con on it. Other than that, super sexy knife. You know, I like the Tanto style blade on it. I like how the bevel is coated right here with this darker gold. And just a cool looking knife. This is what it looks like fully open. Really not a bad knife, guys. You know, as far as the looks go, aesthetics. The jimpings right here and then right there incorporated in the blade. You do have them back here as well on the spine. But, you know, overall, it's a pretty cool looking knife. If y'all want to go check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. Appreciate you watching. Hope the review helped if you're thinking about getting it. And let me know in the comment section below what you think about the... See that? Just did it again. That open liner right there. And if y'all prefer some of these, I know, you know, better quality knife would have a better thing, which I feel like a better quality knife would have a frame lock on it. But anyway, appreciate you watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.